edition of the Cryptid Consortium, and it is 3/12/25.
Beat
uh, I remembered that.
me to it. Yep.
um, Tonight we've got an awesome show planned for you. A subject that's very dear to my heart. Nick, you want to tell us what we're going to talk about tonight?
Yeah, this is the Whitehall Bigfoot, and Gary's away right now, so Jay and I are just gonna continue on with the show, just to let you guys know in case you're interested. But the Whitehall Bigfoot, I found it to be unusual, Jay, because this one was a bit aggressive compared
Yes.
to other sightings that I've read about Bigfoot, and I mean, been reading about Bigfoot for like forever. I mean, even before I started doing cryptozoology way back when, we would read about it and it said it would run through the woods, it would do this, do that. It would help little kids. But this one here seemed to be pretty aggressive. And by Whitehall, I mean Whitehall, New York, which is
Yes.
right up near you, Jay.
About 2 hours south. And to go back to what you were saying about the aggressiveness, through my own experiences, the Sasquatch up here in the Adirondacks tend to be a little bit aggressive.
Oh yeah. Oh
Oh yeah,
wow.
boulders thrown, logs thrown. Oh yeah, they tend to get very aggressive.
It must be because it's just ice cold up there all the time. I mean,
It could
down,
have something to do with it. Yeah.
way down yonder here in North Carolina, it was 84 degrees today, and at least in the city where I am. And
No.
what did it do? Reach 40 where you are?
Yeah. For about no, you got up to about 34 today.
34. That's even worse.
34. Yeah.
Jeez, man, I can't wait till you move down here.
Me neither, brother. Me neither.
Anyway, the Whitehall, New York is actually called the Bigfoot capital of New York State. I mean, because they had just so many of these things go on. There's so many sightings. Um, uh, Let me just give you, for instance, like uh, on August 24th, 1976, in a field off of Abear Road, two teen boys, they saw a creature. And they reported it to the state police. Um, the creature, it was like they say 8 to 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
It was black hairy, and it actually charged them.
Yeah.
And and what they did was they were in a vehicle. They turned the car around and they peeled out of there just to get away from the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I've read other reports where Sasquatch are aggressive, but there was a reasoning behind it.
Right.
This was just in a field, and there was no dead animal. I mean, next day they found out there was no dead animals around, so it wasn't hunting. Uh, didn't look like there was any caves or anything, any place where it could hang out. Maybe a family member's it's protecting. So the aggressiveness, I just can't understand. But anyway, the two boys, after they saw the creature and they peeled away because this thing's running at them, they went and reported it to the police, and sheriff's officers and state police came to investigate over the following weeks. And another thing, over the following weeks, um, 10 more witnesses came forth claiming, to have seen the creature in that same area. And, most of them said that it was 8 feet tall and it was walking upright, red eyes, making a high pitched noise. That's something else I,
Yeah.
I, I didn't, well, at least I don't usually hear. Um, I mean, I know they make that whoo, sound and hooting and stuff and tree knocks, but this was a high pitched noise, almost like a whistle. You know anything about
Yeah.
that?
Oh yeah, I've heard plenty of whistles on investigations.
Mm.
It sounds like an 800-pound, 8 foot owl.
Oh God. Can you imagine that running into an 800 pound, 8 foot owl? Oh
And
God.
that's exactly what it sounds like too.
I
And
I'd have
you
to
know
ask it to I'd have to ask it to stand still because I gotta take a picture. I
Yeah,
actually want to take a
without a
selfie
doubt.
with it.
Right?
An 8 foot, 800 pound owl. I, But from that point, with all the police investigating it and everything, I mean, it sort of added credence to, what went on there. And
Yeah, credibility.
yeah, a lot of credibility. But from there, many people came from the local community and they stepped forward with their own sightings of the creature,
Yep.
besides the 10 other people. Um, I think the next day, I forgot his name. Was it Greenfield, the young man?
The guy's name. There. What I got was there was a there. Okay, one of the cops that showed up at the field. His name was Brian Goslin. He witnessed the creature on Airbury Road. Um, Promptly as from the response from local, other local authorities.
Right.
Um, Over the next few days, Goslin's father, okay, this cop's father, Wilfred was his name, and his brother Paul, along with other fellow officers. His father must have been a cop too.
Yeah.
Um, with other fellow officers, also claimed to have seen the creature, adding reports of the Aver incident.
That's what I was trying to get across. I got it mixed up, the two boys. The one boy's brother was a local cop, and
Yes.
he told him
Okay.
about it, and he went back the next day, and they were checking out the area, and they didn't find any dead deer, any areas where it could hold up. There wasn't a big water source near there, so they just couldn't understand why would it attack us? They were in a car, for crying out loud, and it ran at them. I
But here's one thing, Nick, though. I remember reading about this a long time ago, and when the cops showed up, they got out of the car to look at this thing, and they could see it had like a longer beard, and it was flushed with blood.
oh, hmm,
So who knows what the hell it was doing?
yeah,
Covered in blood. And I got to mention something. Um, a lot of people go missing in the Adirondacks. I don't think people realize how big the Adirondacks are.
oh
It's
God,
6.2 million acres. Okay, and a lot of friggin' people, but pardon my language, a lot of people go missing in the Adirondacks
hmm.
every year. And there was a case back in the 70s, I want to say. The kid's name was Douglas Legg, and it was a typical missing 411 case where he was walking behind his family to the lake. They turned around and he was gone.
Oh, I remember
So
reading about that. Yeah,
yes, yep. So who knows that may all, and it was it was in Speculator, New York, which is not far from Whitehall at all.
yeah. Now I remember reading about that, and I was on another program where we had like 10 moderators in it, or guests, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
We were discussing that exact case where the boy
yep,
was there and then they turned around and he's gone. And
gone.
that's where I first was bringing up portals,
Yes,
other dimensions and portals. And it's possibility that this kid
yeah,
could have stepped through a portal, or Bigfoot could have grabbed him and taken him into the portal. And he's never
right.
been found. Nothing has been found.
Never, no, never, never.
And and if I recall, they had cadaver dogs out there looking for him.
They did. And my father was on that case. He was down there.
Yeah.
And he said the dogs they would hit for a second and then they would lay right down.
Hmm.
They wouldn't pick up a track. Not that maybe they didn't want to pick up the track, from what they were
That's
smelling.
that's a distinct possibility. I mean,
Yeah,
cadaver dogs, they're so darn well trained that if you're in a body of water, they can smell you. So
right,
yeah, something was
right.
wrong. Something was
Uh,
wrong there, and I guess that spot where they stopped was where he disappeared from, and never to be heard from again.
Never.
It's just something else.
Yep.
But anyway, over in Whitehall, over the years, there have been many more Bigfoot sightings in that area. And like August 2018, a man was driving down a road. He saw a large black hairy creature on
Yep.
two legs climbing over a guardrail at night
Guardrail.
on Route 4, I believe it was.
Yep.
Is that close to you, Route 4?
No, you got to once you go a couple hours south, you can pick up Route 4.
Oh, all right. So that's south of you.
That's south of me. Yep.
But like you said, I mean, God, like what is it, 6 million acres? That's a lot.
Yeah, 6.2. It's massive.
Yeah. Um, anyway, in the beginning, the people of Whitehall. Oh, guess what? Nate's calling me now. Hey, why don't you continue with it? I'll mute. And
Yeah, so on Route 4, this thing hopped over a guardrail, and like Nick said, it was in 2018, along with many other sightings since then. Now, these sightings aren't just they don't go just back to the 70s. Okay, for centuries, people have talked about these giant, hairy creatures that walk upright in that area, actually all over the Adirondacks. Um, the tales go back to the Native American stories as well, um, as Samuel de Champlain as well, writing about giant hairy beasts that he learned about from the native guides. So that's interesting right there. Samuel, from other shows we've done, his name has popped up, and um, and he's had his share of run-ins with cryptids. It's kind of interesting, or learned about them when he was over here in the New World, if you want to call it that. Um, Another interesting thing, in 2004, Whitehall passed a law that prohibits the hunting the I can't even read my own writing. Isn't that pathetic? The hunting or harming of this species.
I
So
I gotta love it. The hunting or harming. Yeah.
or
Okay.
harming, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's that tell you? You know?
This thing will come up around you, and if it wanted, it'll grab you.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
but I was saying before, I mean, we were trying to get Nate on because we're missing our partner, our third partner, Gary, and we figure maybe Nate would like to come on with us because he's a big Sasquatch guy. But he lives in Washington State and he's 3 hours behind us. And unfortunately, he's still working at this time. And it looks like
Uh,
he's going to continue working until 6:30 their time, which means another hour and a half. And he really can't join us, I guess.
yeah, too bad.
I kind of missed the call. I didn't even get to talk to him, so I text messaged him. But as I was saying, in the beginning, the people of Whitehall, they were like ashamed, kind of, that there was a Bigfoot, and uh, you know, but soon they came to embrace it as a celebrity, and today
Yeah,
they have like four different Bigfoot statues, totally different statues, and I don't
yep,
mean cardboard cutouts. I mean the real deal,
the real deal.
located in different areas of Whitehall. So it's like they embraced it. They have a celebration. They have a run, a Bigfoot run,
Yep,
the Whitehall Bull Bigfoot run.
yep,
I guess they recognize the economic upswing with people
absolutely.
coming in there, celebrating that. But I'll tell you, if I went to every state in the union that celebrated their Cryptids Day, like Mothman Day
Yeah,
and Lizard Man Day and all this other stuff. I think New Jersey's the only one that doesn't have
Jersey Devil.
a Jersey Devil Day. They don't have a Jersey Devil Day though. I don't.
Oh no, no.
Nah. Um, and if they did, you'd have to go all the way down to the swamps.
Yeah,
Down here. I
Pro-
mean, you don't really want to go down there, believe me.
yeah. I was just gonna say, but not a place you want to go. When
Just
you were off, I was talking about. I mentioned, this whole phenomenon did not begin in '76 when they saw it on Abear Road. This
right.
this goes all the way back thousands, hundreds of years, centuries. And I was saying Samuel de Champlain actually learned about these giant hairy creatures from his native guides. Yeah,
Oh.
and like I was saying, Samuel de Champlain's name has come up in a lot of these shows that we've done.
Mm-hmm.
He supposedly saw the champ, the Lake Champlain monster.
Right.
He learned about all these hairy men, if you want to call them that.
Yeah.
So his name's come up quite a bit, quite a bit.
Yeah, that guy was. I mean, for the mode of travel that they did, he was all over the place.
He got around.
You
Yep.
know, they even named a lake after him. That's how famous he is.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
Exactly.
But I noticed that some of the reports they had that went into the newspapers, no less. You
Yep.
know, they said that with police being reported to the police over the years, the police actually did respond.
Yes,
Oh, to these calls. So this does lend credence to it, and
it does.
it's like really, and from what I understand, they didn't put the cops' names. I don't know if you found any, but some of the police officers spoke to reporters and said, "Yeah, we saw it."
Yes. Yes.
While they were out there looking, and this was
Yep.
state police, out
Yep.
there.
Yep.
So sheriff's department, state police,
Local.
everybody and their grandmother saw this thing, and
Yeah.
it wanted to be seen.
It does seem like that. It wanted to be seen. It wanted them to know it was there, or they
Yeah,
were there. They were there.
they were there,
So
and
sure, it was more than one they saw. I think it was probably more than one individual. I would guess that they were seeing.
yeah. No, I would imagine so because I mean there was so many sightings, over the years and throughout the years. Last one I
Right up
got
until
though,
now. Yeah.
last one I got was 2018. So I guess it's sort of
2018. Yeah.
passe at this point. They don't bother reporting it anymore.
Probably not. No.
I mean
No.
that's kind of sad. They need to get
Yeah.
cryptozoologists up in that area of the world besides yourself, some
Yeah.
organizations to go looking around
Absolutely.
there because that place evidently is a hotbed.
It is all the way from very southern tip of the Adirondacks, all the way up where I am, 2 miles from the Canadian border. The activity is just absolutely insane.
You're
And
actually
people,
2 miles from the Canadian border. Oh Lord.
2 miles, yeah. People think in New York, they think in New York City. They don't realize the 6 million acre piece of wilderness we've got up here.
Ah,
It's bigger than Yosemite, Glacier National,
mm,
Yellowstone, and Everglades National Park all put together. I mean that's massive. Who knows what could be lurking?
yeah.
You know,
No wonder
who
we don't
knows?
no wonder we don't have a big illegal alien problem up there. They cross
Right.
and Bigfoot goes, oh, maybe I'm in a mood for something besides American food. They take them away. It's possible.
It is. It is.
You know.
And they did collect, a lot of forensic evidence too. A lot of footprints with dermal ridges. Um,
Oh yeah, that's right. I was reading where the very next day when that young man Gosling again is his name?
Goslin, yeah, yep,
Gosling and
Goslin,
his brother, the cop, went out
yep,
there and they actually did a cast. They found
yes,
footprints.
yep.
So right off the bat. And
And they must have been pretty damn good footprints too,
it
because they
was a
said they
very
had
big
dermal
footprint.
dermal ridges in them, yeah, and
Yeah.
big.
So it seems if it had dermal ridges, if it seems to me if it had that, then it must have been more like I don't want to say youngster or teenager, but must have been a younger type of a Sasquatch because
Adolescent,
years go by, they wear their feet wear away, on the
where
bottoms.
away, yeah,
So,
adolescent, young adult, yeah,
yeah, young adult. That's what I was looking for.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, the amount of manpower, I was reading some of well, I only got to read four different newspaper articles, but the amount of manpower that they put in over the years was amazing. And even
Incredible,
today,
yeah,
in August when after they saw it, the next day it was phenomenal.
yeah,
I'm wondering what these people were thinking at the time. Well, then again, it was 1976.
right.
So I'm wondering, well, what were they thinking? I mean, my God, it was an couldn't be an escaped gorilla because gorillas aren't no 7, 8 feet tall.
No, nope,
And most
nope.
of the reports that came in did specify 8 feet tall.
8, yeah, 8 to 9 feet, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
Eh,
I can imagine 1,000, 1,200 pounds, whatever.
oh, easy, yeah.
I mean, the thing must have been really massive. Now, I'm wondering whether it was a gugway because usually the eastern portion of Canada is where they have gugways, the face eater.
Yes, The northeast part of Canada.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they're very aggressive.
extremely.
So I'm wondering whether this thing was aggressive. They really didn't put a lot of pictures. I mean, the
No.
one photo they did have was an artist rendition. It was long face. It had a lot of hair,
Yeah.
almost like it was a beard.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's what the blood. They said the blood was hanging off that beard with
Oh,
saliva and
okay.
snot coming out of its nose, and
Ooh,
so who knows? Maybe he got in a fight with another one, or something else. Another cryptid. Who knows? Or a hunt. Who knows?
yeah, it could have been on a hunt, grabbed a deer, bit it, was chewing
Yep.
on it, it's got blood all over itself,
Yep.
and didn't get a
Yep.
chance to hit a river up there to wash.
Right.
Now, how are the tributaries up there and the streams and the rivers? Are they plentiful up there, or I mean, not I'm not talking about
They're
near Lake Champlain. I mean, down in the United States area.
Oh yeah, we got down that way. You're going to pick up the Hudson River eventually. You've got the Hudson River, the St. Lawrence. Not excuse me, not the St. Lawrence, but there's a lot of lakes down You got Lake George right there.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
okay.
Lake George, and lots of ton of water sources for these things.
Hmm.
A lot of moose, a lot of deer. You know, so plenty of food. Plenty of fish, lots of
Yeah,
water, lots of water sources.
yeah, folks. That's the reason why I mentioned water sources because I mean, it's not that they're into taking baths every night, but the water sources for water, because if it is a living creature, it's going to need water and
Right.
fish. Fish is a food
Yes.
source, and if you're a 8 to 1,000 pound Sasquatch, you're going to have to at least eat what 1/10 of your body weight in
Oh, for sure.
so they're out there foraging for food, and I don't know what else do they eat. You want
Yeah.
to get on that to me? Do they eat something besides meat? Will they eat the vegetation?
Berries, berries, vegetation. Oh yeah. So when Stacy saw hers, it was she didn't even see it. It was crouched down in the blueberry patch, and she was 6 feet away from it and didn't see it, and she was picking blueberries as well. Then the thing stood up,
And said,
and
give me your
I'm
blueberries,
here.
lady."
I'm here, I'm here. But it looked at her for a second, turned around and walked away.
Oh,
And it was a big one. It was a big one.
oh,
Yeah, we estimate around 10'3" because I measured.
oh my God.
Yep,
That
it's
is
a
a big.
massive. That's a big one. That's a
They,
big one.
yeah, I guess they do eat the berries because what was it? I was reading the last newspaper report I was reading. I'm trying to remember the name of the newspaper up there that it was in. They had found scat, well, not scat, poop. Might as well call it
Mm?
a big thing of poop up there. And
Yep.
and you know how when birds eat cherries and berries and their droppings are like white and
Yes.
bluish? Well,
Yep.
they found a large, and by large, I'm saying about a good 10-inch circle of scat, and it had berries in it.
Okay.
So I'm wondering, what was this? They didn't take samples from it, unfortunately, but maybe
Oh God.
maybe they didn't know what to do with it or whatever.
Yeah, it's true too.
I mean, that's disgusting.
It, it
Um,
is. It
I,
is.
I've come across mountain lion scat and bears. Oh God, bear scat. Ugh, that's disgusting.
No, it is.
And all kinds of different scat in my time, roving around, and I can imagine a good 10-inch circle of poop, and they noticed,
Right.
but they did notice that there was some blueberries in there, undigested blueberries.
Okay. Yep.
So I guess the thing was getting its vitamin C for the day and
Yep.
lutein.
Yep. Yep.
Woo.
They love the berries. Berries, the meat, fit the deer, they'll go after moose. You know.
Do they usually eat any sort of green vegetation?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like as in rhubarb stuff like that.
Well, I mean, like large leaves or anything. Are they
Oh
into that
yeah.
munching
Yeah.
that?
Like gorillas. Yeah. You know, right off the trees.
You got
Yep.
a varied diet then.
Yeah, very. Yep. Very, very, very diet. Yep.
I wouldn't want to get lost up there and then fall through a portal someplace. You know,
No, you and me both.
I mean, I just letting my imagination run wild. I mean, you're up there walking around with me with a team of people, and you're on the outer edge of the diamond formation that we're walking in, and boop, you just disappear. And
Right.
when you
Right.
reappear in another dimension, you're right in the middle of maybe a couple hundred Sasquatch. You know,
Yeah. They
it's
did
like,
make a documentary about this incident too, but a movie about it. It's called The Beast of Whitehall.
oh,
And that was, I don't think I have a date. Uh and it was specifically made about the Abear Road incident as well.
oh.
Specifically made about that
Well,
aspect of it.
I could see that because there was a lot that went on there.
Yes.
Like I said, between regular sheriffs and state police, and
Yeah.
they had reporters up there for days, um,
Days. Yeah.
I mean, they just didn't leave. They didn't get a big influx of curious people that were, uh, I guess, amateur cryptozoologists at the time.
Right.
But after about a year, they started to get it, and that's when
Yeah.
they started to, embrace the fact that they have a celebrity up there, and
Yep.
trying to
Yep.
make economic, profits on it, because we have a big Bigfoot over here.
I
Ah,
went to they had a BFRO. This was years ago. I'm talking 10, God, 15 years ago. They had a BFRO thing in Whitehall, and I cruised down to it just to check it out, And
mm,
you would not believe the people in that place. And when they have everyone stand up and talk about their encounter, I
yeah.
couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it how many people stood up. I got up and talked about mine. It was just crazy.
Well,
Like I said, people don't realize the wilderness in New York. They think of
that's
all
just
the
it.
cities.
Yeah, but BFRO is a huge organization, so
Yeah.
in fact, I think they're having something. That's why we're having trouble getting some guests on for our Sunday,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I think they're having a BFRO meet right now, or this coming weekend.
It's coming weekend. Yeah.
And there's a couple other cryptozoology meetings out there in different
Yep.
states right now. I guess it's the time of the year to do it.
It is. Yeah. I
Damn,
think there's one in Tennessee, maybe, if I'm not mistaken.
is it Tennessee or Kentucky? I forgot which.
Kentucky, maybe. It's one of the two.
Yeah,
It's one of the two.
and no
Yeah.
doubt they'll probably visit the land between the lakes while
Oh,
they're.
sure.
You've
Sure.
never been there yet.
Not yet, but we're going at some point.
As soon as you get down here, you and I will just take a ride there.
We are going.
Yeah, it's not that far from here. I mean, when I was in New Jersey, I took a ride there, the Kentucky side. But I
Yep.
want to go on the Tennessee side because the people in Tennessee talk about it, and
Yeah.
people in Kentucky would not talk about it. I mean, nobody wanted to talk about it. The hunters, all they said, two hunters that I saw at a gas station, all they said was, "Don't go there at nighttime," which I already did for like 3 days in a row.
Of
And
course, they tell you not to. You're going to do
yeah,
it.
I mean, I'm going to go there whether you like it or not. So
You're
don't,
right.
it's too dangerous. And uh, but I want to go on the Tennessee side because DA Roberts is with me, and he tried to get people to talk about it. We went to the
Yeah.
Welcome Center, and it felt like
Yeah.
it was the Unwelcome Center because
Sure.
when I asked the lady about it, she turned away and walked. And she worked there at the Welcome Center. She just walked away.
Oh, wow.
Wouldn't even say, "No, I'm not going to talk about it." No, didn't say that. She just turned and walked away. I
Huh.
tried to
Kind
get
of,
other
kind of
people.
rude, huh?
Yeah, I tried to get other people to talk about it. They wouldn't do it. And I'll tell you another thing about their Welcome Center. I bought a couple of things there, a shirt and a mug and a few other knickknacks. And I got plenty of pictures of me and DA outside of the Welcome Center at nighttime, you know. 'Cause
Yep.
people go, "Oh, you
Yep.
won't go out at night." Oh, yeah, well, it was 1:30 in the morning. And but anyway, what I want to get across is that there was no Dogman shirts or mugs or anything.
Nothing, huh?
Not even a bookmarker with the dog man on it. I mean,
Yeah,
but when, like I said, when I asked about dog man there, walked right away from me.
marked right away.
Yeah, and DA had the same thing happen to him when he went into a couple stores and he was talking to people and they just stopped talking to him. He changed the subject, the dog man, and
That was it.
talking about it. Why? What's the harm? You know,
Yeah, yeah,
what's it going to do? Is it going
yeah.
to come after you? Unfreaking real. Unreal.
Yep, sure is.
So, any other police reports you've got on this, or
Couldn't find any more police reports. No. I just found, about that law they made in 2004. They passed out a law prohibiting hunting here's how they word it, Nick. In 2004, Whitehall passed a law prohibiting the hunting of these beloved, mysterious Bigfoot creatures.
and I saw, now that you mention it, as I was looking through the internet on this one, not newspaper reports. This was on the internet. I saw some parks over there with signs, yellow
Yeah.
signs with black writing,
Yes.
warning people off not to go in this area because there are Bigfoot, and
Bigfoot. Yeah.
they tell them no hunting, and you can't do this and that and the other thing.
Yeah.
No chasing them down for autographs and selfies.
I
Oh,
think it's if I'm not mistaken, Whitehall's in Washington County, and I think it's the whole county where that law was
yeah,
put into place.
yeah.
Not just Whitehall, but the whole county itself.
No, the whole county. Yeah, they had to have that.
Yeah.
It's not just one area.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if you want to mention anything about this. If not, you don't have to. But I know your dad was formerly a police officer.
Yes.
Did he ever talk about it?
Yeah. He remembers it vividly. He remembers it vividly. And he doesn't talk about it much, but he was when that kid went missing. He was it was he hadn't been in the state police that long, so he was still in uniform. He wasn't a BCI agent yet,
Uh,
but he said there was there were military guys there. They had military. Now, what you tell me, Nick? Okay, with your former background, what kind of missing persons case do they call in special ops teams? And he
uh,
said they would not talk to anybody.
ooh,
Not even the police. They wouldn't even communicate with the police. They went off and did their own thing.
you got special ops people. There's a big reason for them to be in there.
There's a big reason. Yeah.
And I mean, Green Berets, Delta, are excellent land navigators. Uh,
Yes, these were Green Berets, he
yeah,
said.
well, the Green Beanies would do that, and they're top of the line professionals. They're going to go
Yep.
there, do the job, get it done. And if they were out there, there had to be a big a reason. That
Had to have been.
Man, I would love to find out what that reason is.
Me too.
Jeez.
Yeah, that gets me. It really makes your imagination run wild.
Yeah. Oh, God. All right. Nate says we got to plan it out, and we can get him on the show with us. For the Cryptid Consortium.
Yeah, we'll bring them on next week.
That would be great. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know if Gary wants to be back next week or not. We can do a foursome on here.
Yeah, even do the four of us. Be
Yeah,
great.
we might have to do it a little bit later. Depending on
Yeah.
the time he works still.
Yeah, which isn't a problem.
Yeah,
Nope.
but
Nope.
man, now you got me going. I'm gonna have to try to find out. You know,
Yes, yes, indeed. Indeed. But yeah, what else got me was those dogs, not those cadaver dogs, Nick. They just laying. He said they'd hit a track, they'd walk about 50 yards, and they just lay right down. All of them at the same time. They would lay right down, not want to go any further.
there had to be
And
something here for the dogs not to do that.
right, and
Because
that's when they had the bloodhounds
oh
back in. Yeah, they had the bloodhounds back then. The state police did.
wow, I mean, and their
And
sense of smell. I mean, there's a reason that they have them. not because they're
Yes.
goofy or anything, but because they
Right.
have this unlimited stamina and they don't really fear anything because they are kind of big bloodhounds.
Sure. There. Yeah.
And their sense of smell is supposed to be like way beyond even your normal dog sense of smell. I think they got it by about 40, plus 40. I believe regular dogs can smell like 147 times better than we can smell.
Yeah.
I mean, that's phenomenal.
It's
And
phenomenal. Yeah.
these things are up there in the 200s, the way their
Yeah.
smell is. And I'm wondering if they had the 5th Special Forces group. I got a couple of friends that are in that group. I mean, maybe they can look in the background.
That's Fort Drum, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Probably then, right? Being that close.
yeah. They just send them right up there.
Then yeah.
I know this, 2024, they had the 5th Special Forces group up near you.
Yes, they did. Yep.
Yes, they're up there, quote, training exercise.
Yep.
They caught some people coming over the border and they handed them over to Border Patrol,
Yep.
who probably at the time just let them loose, you know?
Oh, guaranteed. Yeah.
Now they
Yep.
don't do it. Now it's
No.
2025, the election's over. They
Yep.
won't do that. Now it's deportation time.
Yep.
Because I mean, after all, that's illegal. It's
Yes, it is. It
it's
is.
part of the law of the land, and it is
That's
in
right.
the books. Anybody could look it up. It is a federal law, law. I mean,
Right.
you couldn't walk into Italy, you couldn't walk into Spain
No.
or Germany.
No. Or
Uh,
even
God
Canada
forbid,
for that matter.
yeah, God forbid you went to North Korea, China, or Russia.
Oh my God.
I mean, you'd be arrested in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
That's illegal. I don't think there is any country in the world practically that says you can just come into our country without our permission.
No.
I mean, there probably are a few countries. I don't want to misspeak,
There's probably a few. Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
mean, that is against the law. So, the folks out there can look it up. I know there was a Democratic congresswoman who said, no, no, it's not against the law. But no,
Oh God.
really is. It's
It
illegal to
is.
come onto our grounds. And, you know, I don't know why they're trying to deny that, but it is in the books.
It is.
I'm going to look it
Yep.
up. This way, the next time we come on, I'll be prepared with the
You can
exact.
verify it.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think it might be a Title 18 law. So I'll
Yep.
see. But that's about all I have on this little run.
Yeah. That's.
I mean, they continue to this day to have a yearly little party on it. After the run, they have different food places to go, and I guess they set up all along the route over there after the run that they have. And
Yep.
it's the Whitehall Bigfoot Run.
Yep.
Sell mugs and shirts and you name it, they have it.
Yep.
Like I said, the townsfolk they did embrace it. We have our own monster.
And I'll tell you what, the difference between that part of the Adirondacks, the southern part, they talk about it.
Yeah.
They'll talk up here. It's very extremely hard to get someone to talk about their experiences.
Wow.
Very hard.
Mm.
I don't know if it's just because we're in a cluster of small little villages up here, and people don't want other people to think they're nuts. Or I don't know what it is, but they will. It's very very hard to get a witness to speak up here.
I, I hate to bring this up, but
No, go ahead.
you ever get a chance to try to go talk to that fellow that has a Bigfoot finger?
I haven't had the cojones yet, Nick.
Oh
I
man,
haven't had the cojones yet.
I just wish you could. You
I
know,
know.
I
I
mean,
keep my dad knows him, and he keeps Jeremiah. Don't you dare!
oh,
Don't you dare! He's a friend of mine. Don't you do it.
oh man.
But I tell you what, one day I will knock on his door.
I
I'll
mean,
be
you'll be living
professional
down
and
here in North Carolina, and I'll hit you up with that question. Do you ever do that? No, I didn't. You'll be like, gee, I wish I would have asked the guy. Oh,
yep.
that would have been fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they had that Yeti hand that they had
Yes, in Nepal or
and
whatever.
then brought it to the United States. Up in the Himalayas there. Who was that? It was an old time movie actor.
No, James Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart. Yeah,
Jimmy Stewart. Yeah,
he helped him get it back to the United States.
yeah, he sure did. Yeah,
But
Jimmy
poor
Stewart.
monks, I mean, that was their sacred hand.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, as far as I know, there's no gorillas up there. You know,
No, no, definitely not.
no white hairy gorillas up in the Himalayas. It's just too darn cold.
Too cold.
And and I was reading a short book on the monks up there in the Himalayas, and they wear these long robes, and the robes are about God a half inch thick. And people think that they go around commando, but no, they got pants underneath those robes
Oh yeah,
because it's
yeah.
too cold, and they don't want to take the chance of getting frostbite.
Sure.
Now, I mean, maybe in warmer months they'll run around in their sandals, but I think that's inside the monastery up there.
Right,
When they
right.
do have to go outside the monastery, I don't know why they would have to, but when they do that, I guess they put boots and stuff on.
Yeah, yeah.
That's an
'Cause-
interesting story. It's not for now, maybe another time. Maybe we got to do something
yeah,
with them, the Yeti
yeah,
and the monks up there, because
yes.
I mean, how they can live up there? How do they get their food supplies? And how do they get their money to live up there even? So I mean, that's
Good
it's
question.
an interesting story, which I won't get into right now, but
Right.
and I guess I think I guess we're running out of time over here too. Darn.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. I thought it was we did well for what we had.
Yeah. Hopefully Gary will be back next time we do this, and we'll get
Mhm.
Nate on here too. So
Getting Nate on here too. Exactly. Exactly.
that'll be fantastic. All right, everybody. Well, listen, everybody have a good night. And like I always say, when you're out there in the field, just remember, don't only look on the ground for the snakes and spiders, but look up. You
Look up in the
never
trees.
know what's up there. So,
That's right.
good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Everyone be good to each other. God bless.